one of the first days we did training was at another store that had already been open, and it was, just walking through the aisles and going like, "Oh, that's something I've always wanted." Like, Tom and I bought funny enough, we were talking about the Power Morpher earlier. We bought the re-release that day. That was our first training day, and we walked up and saw it, and we went, "All right, we're gonna use our little discount that we got." We used our discount, and we got the re-release of the Morphers because that was something I wanted the re-release, and so did he. So we both bought that, and then I think it was the next training they had a Hal Jordan, Kyle Rayner Green Lantern, but it was Blue Lantern and Yellow Lantern. And I was like, yes, I want that. So I picked that up. And then that just became like I wanted everything. But it kind of worked in another way over the long haul. And that was when you start working there and you start seeing them every day, it sort of becomes a second home in the way that you don't always have to bring that home because you see it every day. You see, it might be a toy that you just are like, I need to get this. Well, what are you going to do with it? I'm going to bring it home and put it on a shelf. All right, you going to play with it? No, it's just going to sit on a shelf. Well, it's sitting on a shelf that you see every day. Do you need to pay $50 to bring and put it on your shelf at home? Or do you just leave it there and save yourself $50? And that's sort of the way my mind started to work was I was seeing every toy I ever wanted, but I knew that I would only be taking it home and it's not like I would be running around with friends playing with it. It would just sit on a shelf. So I went, well, I do that. I see this every day. I don't need to bring it home. And I know there was definitely some toys that I did purchase. I'm not saying I didn't buy anything, but it was very select. Um, the Dragon Dagger from Power Rangers was a toy I always wanted as a kid, and when that got re-released, I picked that up. I'm trying to think of some other stuff. A couple Lego sets here and there, but for the most part, when you see it every day, it doesn't lose its luster. You just kind of say, I'm glad it exists and I see it every day, and that's enough. So, what could have been a really bad thing if I didn't have self control, it kind of didn't happen. I was kind of okay with just going, all right, I see it for a few months. And it, by the time it's out of stock, usually, you've seen it so many times that the thrill of seeing it is gone. As in the same feeling as if you bought something you threw on a shelf and you go, okay, well, there it is. 3 days later, you're like, oh, right, that's there. And you totally forget about it. So it worked definitely in my favor.